The other day I was looking at my Steam year in review for 2023 and I noticed that horror is my most played genre. This is mostly from my hours in Phasmophobia, but it made me realise something. I only play horror games with other people. This is definitely because I get less scared playing horror games with other people. So I decided to challenge myself to play an array of horror games and rate how scary I found them, on a scale of I genuinely shat myself to I fell asleep. Despite the fact that Alien Isolation is a highly renowned game with over 1 million copies sold and critically acclaimed for its advanced AI, I for some reason did not think I was going to like this game. You embark on the journey as Amanda Ripley, an engineer who wants to figure out the cause of her mother's disappearance, which brings you to Sevastopol. If there's anything that movies have taught me, is that you don't resurrect dinosaurs and you don't hop onto a random spaceship, especially when the people on that ship don't want you on board. Despite that, we make it onto Sevastopol, only to find it an absolute mess with fire everywhere, and for some reason everyone wants to kill you. I quickly learnt that everyone who tries to help me just instantly dies. And from that point onwards, my mission was to escape Sevastopol. I spent the first 2 hours of the game so incredibly anxious as to when the alien was going to appear, and once I finally saw it, I spent the next 16 hours hiding from it. There was definitely points in this game where I was genuinely tweaking, and hearing the alien hunt me down always managed to raise my heartbeat. No way! Once I got into it though, I didn't find it too scary, although I do have to be completely fair and admit I was playing on easy mode. I am trying another playthrough now on Nightmare mode, which I'm sure will be a lot scarier. My flamethrower wouldn't work, bro! But I actually enjoyed this game so much more than I thought I was going to. I played it every single day for a week straight and ended up finishing it. I do have to say I didn't like the ending, but it was actually a masterpiece. I had to get someone to sit next to me here. Resident Evil follows Ethan Winters in his hunt to find his missing wife Mia, who he thought was dead for 3 years. You end up in this seemingly abandoned farmhouse, and all the rotting food in there just absolutely put me off. Like, the maggots literally move. I already felt really creeped out and was closing my eyes every time I unlocked a new door, but then I found this tape. This tape follows 3 guys who call themselves the Sewer Gators, and they are paranormal investigators.
So, why are we in hell this time? Do you ever prep? What's the prep? Shitty house, spooky sounds? Ooh, is it haunted?
Also, I just realised Gators is a play on investigators, and that's actually pretty cool. On their latest episode, the Sewer Gators are exploring the farmhouse that I am currently in, when one of them goes missing. Because who would have thought that was going to happen?
Andre! Clancy, you see where Andre went?
The other 2 guys follow these really weird sounds and end up finding a secret passageway down to the basement, where you proceed to find the missing guy dead and his murderer stalking towards you. The cameraman did in fact not make it this time. So obviously, the only right thing I can do in this situation is to follow the path that the Sewer Gators took, right? Nothing could go wrong, right? That is disgusting. In the basement, you proceed to find Mia locked up, and once freeing her, she says,
"Daddy's coming. We need to go."
What the actual f***? After a couple of minutes, Mia proceeds to go berserk on me and chops off my hand. Oh, my hand. And then I'm just holding out my non-existent hand for some reason as it spews blood everywhere. I managed to find my way upstairs, where I find a gun and quite a bit of ammo, which I thought was really good, until I proceed to lose everything in Mia, and she still only went down when I had barely any ammo left. Just as I thought it couldn't get any worse, I get knocked out by who I'm presuming has kept Mia locked up here for 3 years. When I wake up, my hand is stapled back on, because that's how hands work. And there's an old lady next to me who I'm sure is dead. I'm seated at a dinner table with a whole family who try to force feed me some unknown thing. I just really can't tell what it is, and at this point I just can't. Not sure why I didn't think this game was going to be an actual biohazard despite the name of the game, but it sure did make me feel like one. I legitimately could not stomach it, and when I actually thought I was going to throw up, I Alt F4'd and proceeded to stare at a wall for the next hour. So that's why I made Resident Evil its own tier. Legitimately the most horrendous feeling I've ever had from playing a video game. Mimic search is about, well, searching for a mimic. I spent a couple of minutes trying to figure out how to operate the car that I was in. How do I get out? Before I spoke to a police officer about a recent attack that had occurred in the town. A woman had been attacked by a mimic and it was my job to find and neutralize it. Obviously I had to show off my years of experience in mimic searching by getting my car stuck. Okay, so, I might be stuck. And I did in fact have to restart the game to continue. Then I went around town talking to all of the citizens, who did not seem fazed that a mimic had killed someone literally less than a kilometre away. The only thing I know is that you should be very careful. You don't say. I think you should be too, considering literally just like 50 metres away someone died. But anyways. I did actually get really creeped out by this one door. Okay. And all the player models just felt off and uncanny. I ended up at this one house that was obviously disconnected from town when some lady started screaming. As the noble police officer that I am, I went into the middle of the forest to see if she was okay, when I myself was attacked. Oh my god. Oh! Die! It was actually quite an eerie and unsettling game, so I put it in It's Had Its Moments tier. In Outlast, you are literally a journalist that is exploring a psychiatric hospital for the fun of it, for some reason. Entering the building, I found a lot of blood and dead bodies around, but of course, this is a horror game, so I can't just leave from the window that I came from. I eventually found this dying officer, and he told me that the inmates around here roamed freely, and that I should probably leave.
Can unlock the main doors from security control.
Of course though, on my way out, I was ambushed by this giant bald guy, and then I encountered a weird priest who called me his apostle and told me that I needed to see some things. I played this game for almost 3 hours, and while I liked the plot and the way that the main character described the variants, I found that the jump scares were pretty predictable and I really just didn't get scared. Oh. Do you reckon he actually gets through? Oh. Oh. Okay. Nice. Hey. What up? For that, I'm rating Outlast and the I fell asleep tier. For some reason, I thought Panicore had an actual storyline where you progressed in the game, so I was really confused when I was thrust into a garage with like rave music and was told to gather my tools. I ended up punching these zombie things into absolute oblivion, which by the way was my favourite part of the game, and then made my way to a school. At the school I found that I had no way out and had to find a way to escape by building a ladder. The game really just reminded me of a mix between Phasmophobia and Granny, which was cool and I did find it somewhat eerie. However, I just could not take the monster seriously. Like it literally just looks like a weird, deformed, hairless dog. It sounds like it can't breathe properly. I would definitely replay this game with my friends, but for now, I put it in the It Had Its Moments tier. Here's my final tier list, and thank you all for watching.